My name is Samayani24, and I am the proud director of Word Becomes Flesh by Mark Bermuthi Joseph.
I am Deirdre Starnes, and I am the director for Colored Girls. Well, I received a phone call from Colin. I had seen him in passing a few times before the phone call, and he kept saying, "I want to talk to you. I have something I want to talk to you about." So he called me one day and he asked me how did I feel about directing for Colored Girls, and I said I'd love to. And he asked me what did I feel, or how did I feel about For Colored Girls being in rep with Word Becomes Flesh, and I just thought it was a brilliant idea.
Colin told me that he had a project that he wanted to talk to me about directing, and it turns out that it was Word Becomes Flesh, which I had seen Bermuthi do his solo work of the show before, and he told me that he's got a version of it that is an ensemble piece now. And that he wanted to do it in rep with For Colored Girls, and I thought that was just a brilliant idea.
I was blessed to have been a part of the 20th anniversary cast in New York with Intozaki Shange directing it herself, and so to be able to have an opportunity to put it on its feet with all that I learned from her, and with this cast in particular, in this venue, and in this framework being done in tandem with the other show has just been remarkable. And I think every production of For Colored Girls is going to be different because it's up for interpretation. It's up for people's personal experiences, how the pieces affect them. And we've also tried to find a way to just meld each piece into the other piece so that it's a continuous story, going for the idea that this is the story of several women. Each story is several women's story. It's just...
Say Sheets had heard these things. She moved as if she'd known them. The high and silver tone laughing, the violins and marble floors. Say Sheets had pushed the clinging delta dust with painted toes.
We got a chance to really be vulnerable around each other, which is not something that men usually like to be, period, or around each other, so that was fabulous.
What strikes me so much about Word Becomes Flesh is the vulnerability of the piece. And For Colored Girls, these pieces, the women they just open themselves up and they lay it out. And I feel the same thing happens with Word Becomes Flesh.
This piece is a window into the soul of Black men, and it's just been pure joy. The level of listening that the audience is going to be engaged in. The first read of For Colored Girls, the guys were kind of on the edges of their seats. Same thing with the ladies when we read Word Becomes Flesh. They were listening in a way that you rarely get a chance to experience when you're in everyday life. Things that have stood out to me, just the level of urgency, how important and how timely both of these works are.
There has to come a time when they take that vulnerability, they take those hurts, and they take those insecurities, and they find the strength in themselves.
But that's why we're artists, because we want to challenge the status quo, and we want to really illuminate the turmoil that's going on in the world right now. And I think after seeing these pieces, I think people will have a greater appreciation of the Black experience.
I've never been a woman. You know, that's a story unto itself. This being, I've spent my whole life seeing a brown boy's days to come. Before they reach 18, so many brown boys' lives already done.
Brown boy.
Fed.
Brown boy.
Step aside, we don't want you here.
Brown boy.
Only respect those who respect you.
Brown boy.
Live your life knowing the mainstream world only respects a few brown boys, and this will never be tolerated as an excuse.
Brown boy.
Guilty until...
This is not a conversation. This is a relationship, and what both casts do together so well is that they take that relationship to the next level.
I just can't wait to see how audiences respond to both these pieces. We've been having a blast. It's been a process that's really caused both casts to really dig deep within themselves, and I'm excited to see how audiences are going to embrace that spirit and that energy that we've been able to pull out of ourselves, and how they're going to connect that to what's going on today.